Welcome back. On Friday, David, we were talking about the prospect of M&A heating up this year, and sure enough, we got a deal in semis.
Yeah, we've got a large deal in semis, of course. You know, there'd been some talk about a big chip deal. We got it. Analog Devices, and it was announced this morning. Some reporting on it late yesterday. Buying Maxim, 0.63 shares of ADI for each share. If you want to do the math at home, it gets you to about over $20 billion deal based on the equity value there. We'll see what Analog does, of course, Jim, in the early going here. They're talking, I think, about, $275 million in overall cost synergies over time. Yeah, there it is, $275 million of cost synergies by the end of year 2, and accretive to adjusted EPS in 18 months subsequent to closing. We're going to be talking to ADI CEO later this hour, Jim. But what's your take on the deal itself? Of course, a large one. We can see the premium being paid, resulting in Maxim stock price going up before we start trading.
First, Analog Devices knows how to acquire. They bought Linear, which I thought was going to be a tough deal. And when I spoke to the company when they did that, they really combined the companies in record time. David, what's really extraordinary about this deal, when people say that the market's overvalued, all right? Well, Maxim was only up 4%. It was at its high, though. And when you see companies that get bid at the high, even though they had a not great quarter, and this next quarter was going to be even worse, what it says is be careful if you hate this market, because Vince saw value in Maxim batteries, that's car batteries, value in healthcare, a lot of value in Internet of Things. There's a competitive world in the analog between Analog Devices and Texas Instruments. And I think this puts them in better position than Texas Instruments in terms of what I call industrial America technology, which has been weaker. If autos come back, this thing's a horse.
And, I mean, they can now compete with the likes of Texas Instruments when it comes to R&D spending.
Yes.
Which is very important.
Been 3, you know, they always say 3 years to get the deal done. Mm-hmm. David, it'll be 2 years. They always underpromise. They play UPOD.
I want to make clear, when you say get the deal done, you mean integrate the two companies.
Integrate the deal with profit, right. So that we sit here and raise. When will we raise numbers? Mm-hmm. I think we'll be, and I'm sorry to be imprecise, but it'll be 2 years from now. One of the most important things, and we're going to talk about that with Tesla, battery management. They're going to own the EV, electric vehicle drivetrain. And they can creep up into the actual battery. Well, all we do is we talk about, much of the time, everyone when you're on vacation, they talk about Musk. Well, EV is really just Musk, but EV is going to be everybody. That's a good business for them. They also do, Maxim's got this great healthcare business. Anybody who is trying to figure out whether they have COVID uses a pulse oximeter. And pulse oximeter is Maxim. So that's a very good business, great healthcare business. And even though they're going to have a sequential decline because of COVID, the company's still getting a bid. Incredible.
Yep, and they did raise their third quarter fiscal guidance as well, Carl.